We have a plan. And the plan is finish Milton proper, scavenge the Milton Basin, head to the Muskeg, head back to Mystery Lake, make a moose-hide satchel, prep for the FMBR gauntlet, and then the far territory. But first, this cave, because we did come this far. Hello, Legion. This is Hadrian. Thank you for being here. Let's play some more of the Long Dark in our Against All Odds series. So I'm actually going to drop a couple of things while I'm thinking about it. We are sorted by weight, thankfully, and I just have a lot of crap. More crap than I need to be lugging around, to be quite honest. Okay, that will probably do. The likelihood that this cave is going to have anything amazing. Oh, look at that. Look at the ambient effects. I love it. The fact that this cave is going to have anything particularly amazing, or the likelihood that it will, is pretty low. But I still want to double check. It's worth a look around, even if it just means some extra firewood like this. I mean, that's fir firewood, that's not nothing. We can grab some coal on our way out as well. Cedar firewood, yep.
Not sure I can carry much more.
That's because you can't. Honestly, one of the only reasons I wanted to go ahead and scavenge this cave is that there's a slight chance, at least I think there is, that there could be a few more matches. And we're not low on matches, but we're playing on an interloper loot table, so it's always good to check. Because there tend to be burned out campfires and similar sort of discoverable. Oh, hello. Turned too far. Similar discoverables in here. Okay, and this is the Hush River Valley, which means we are turning around. That was a shorter walk than I remembered. I feel like this cave shrunk. But I guess it's just me. Okay, well, I don't know. There's still a lot of coal at Grey Mother's. So I'm just thinking about how much I will reasonably be able to carry, especially down into the basin, and it's not much more than I already have. So it doesn't make a lot of sense to grab more coal right now, especially given that at some point we will come back, or at least it's highly likely, let's put it that way, that we will come back through this cave and actually enter the Hushed River Valley. So HRV is kind of a dead-end zone, and especially given that we already have a moose, the need to check HRV for the moose-hide satchel, which, honestly, my knowledge of the current loot situation with the moose-hide satchel and HRV on this loot table is dated, because I feel like I'm just not as sure post loot tables update, which I know it's been a while. I'm just not as sure that the moose-hide satchel is there on low loot tables. It might be, but I just haven't gone to get it enough to have that real deep sense of certainty. So some of you in the comments might be aware. But the point is, we don't even need to worry about it because we have a moose hide waiting for us, probably fully cured by now, in Mystery Lake, which is why we're going to go back, so we can make that satchel. So we really just needed to check this cave, and frankly, it's been a bit of a disappointment. Let me make sure that I got everything I needed. Yep, we have our tools, we have our bedroll, we have our cooking. Perfect. All right, we're good to go. Okay. We're probably just going to get some rest in a bit.
This pack is getting too heavy to carry.
So I do want to keep heading down that way, but not right now, because it's the middle of the night. An aurora could start any moment, and it's probably safer to head back to the cabin, get some rest to where I'm not quite so tired, because I'm tired enough that it's slowing me down. Also, this could present some sprain-related challenges here. Hopefully not, but it's a pretty steep slope. Kind of like the slope on those stretched stars in the sky. Genuinely cannot wait for new night sky graphics. And also mod support for the Long Dark, which is coming at some point this year. Because then the night sky mod that's been around for a long time will be much more easy to get off the ground. And that's one that I would strongly consider using. Although, I'm not sure that I love what the night sky mod in its current iteration, at least the last one that I saw, does with the moon. Which in my opinion is not great. I like the Long Dark's moon, even if I don't love what the Long Dark does with the stars. Alright, I'm going to get low to the ground for a second, because I don't trust the wolf to not be right in front of me. I just don't. Because there was a wolf, remember, over there somewhere, as I was making my way up this hill during the previous episode, and it proceeded to vanish into thin air, so I am now paranoid. Alright, there's a demon around here somewhere. I say that because I can hear it. I think it's down on the road, though. Okay. Let's get back inside.
I'm not going to be able to carry this load for much longer.
You'll be fine. Did I check that drawer? Yes, I did. And nothing is actually on the workbench. It's very, very easy to completely miss things that are placed on top of that bench. My crude bannock that definitely was not worthy of being kept in my inventory. Okay, so... don't have a ton to eat. Might be able to fix that depending on hunting outcomes. In this next little stretch here. Technically, we can probably still go back for that deer before it disappears. And that's very close to grandmother's, but I doubt we'll have to actually cook that. Alright, so let's go for just 8 hours. Should carry us through the rest of the night, and we'll have a little bit of daylight. It'll be cold, though. Perfect. Sun is fully up. We're going to drink a bit more water. Yeah, our carrying capacity is only 77.16 right now, and I just would prefer it be a little bit higher than that, so we need that moose hide satchel. Because right now the only thing we have helping with carrying capacity is the well-fed bonus. Actually, speaking of that, let's make sure that we keep the well-fed bonus. Yes, we're running low on cattails, but the good news is, when we head down into the basin, there will be plenty. We'll have cattails for days, and then we'll have moose meat when we get back to Mystery Lake while we're making the satchel, which the satchel won't take long, but we will have what we need while we take care of that. And if you missed what I said, because I realized I used an acronym, mentioned the FMBR Gauntlet. That is, of course, the Forlorn Muskeg Broken Railroad Gauntlet, which, as I believe I mentioned in the first episode back, it is deceptive in its challenge, even when you're well equipped for it. You have to be, especially the Broken Railroad portion of it, you have to be really prepared for a curveball to get thrown your way, particularly a blizzard at the wrong time, especially if it was already bad in Forlorn Muskeg and you're kind of pushing through, hoping to get to the maintenance shed as quickly as possible. It's... oh, there's a wolf up there. Interesting. So there was a wolf near the cave entrance. Just happened not to see him. Alright, I'm going to try and dart between these two wolves. That one is not nearly close enough to be a problem. But this one, unless he turns around, could be an issue. But yeah, Broken Railroad, you very much... Oh, can I go up this way? Might be able to go up this way. You very much have to be prepared for that section. So I'm trying to keep that in mind, because that is something that, especially since the channel came back online a few years ago, that's something that's bitten me more than once. On YouTube. It's like, let's go through Broken Railroad. What could possibly go wrong? It's fine. No, lots can go wrong. Don't get cocky. Alright, there's that wolf. A little bit nervous about this blind hill, but at the same time, at the top it should give us a pretty good view. Alright, as expected, pretty bloody cold. But we just want to make our way down to that road. Oh, hi. We have a wolf. Danger close. We can take care of that, though. Was only on the screen for an instant. But it's right there. Not to have a bad day, though. Are you... Okay.
I can feel my feet.
Okay. Now I feel like I scared one of the other wolves closer to me. Missed. Missed. Somehow. Maybe I just need higher rifle skill. Maybe I just need to get good. Maybe that's it. Maybe that's the answer. Have you tried getting good, Hadrian? Have you tried knowing how to play video games? I mean, kinda. A little bit. Let's see if we can pull this shot off before we get cold. We're not going to be able to. Damn it. If I pull this off... Okay. Missed again. I'm not going to waste my ammo on that wolf anymore. We're just going to keep going. One of the reasons I want to come down this way is that there are some slots in the cars along this road. Slots in the loot table, I mean. That are pretty damn good. Also, we're going to check this side area real quick. Yeah, that was just unfortunate timing. It is cold. And unfortunately, got colder a little bit faster than I thought. The world is getting colder. We're not at the 50-day mark yet, so that's going to keep happening until we hit 50 days. And then it's just going to be cold all the time. Colder some places than others. But right now, it's just getting there. Okay. So we're going to poke our heads back in here real quick. Maybe this is where the matches will be. You never know. No, just some feathers. Gonna keep moving. There's one more feather up on the slope behind him, but I'm not too worried about it. So in the older loot tables, wow, words. One thing that you could pretty reliably find out here if you were playing on lower difficulty is an expedition parka. Now, of course, we will not find an expedition parka in this playthrough. I'm not expecting that, but I'm hoping maybe for something similarly awesome. And there's also a cave that we can visit, which is what I'm trying to make my way toward.
This'll come in handy.
Nice! I'm more excited about the catch-up chips than the driving gloves, but the driving gloves can be broken down for precious, precious leather. So that's nice. I'm going to try and stay on the road for the movement speed here. You know, speaking of cattails, Had that wolf not been such a nuisance a moment ago, there also would have been cattails on that pond. Now let's look for the bear. Hypothermia risk is manageable at the moment, but we're going to want to find that cave sooner than later. There's the bridge. The bear's probably on the other side of it, given that I can't hear bear crows at the moment, but let's make no assumptions because, remember, I don't even know that there's a bear here anymore. Wildlife spawns, as I have mentioned once or twice since Against All Odds Season 8 started, have changed. Which I frickin' love, let me tell you. Okay, I'm going to be quiet for a second while I listen for bear crows. I hear carrion crows. Huh. Currently no sign of bear. Okay. Checking the bed of the truck. And yes, sometimes I don't think so much... Oh, a simple parka. See? That's the spot where you would typically find the expedition parka. This time it's just a simple parka. But that might be worth putting on. We'll check in a second. I don't think it will be, because I think I already have one. Yeah, I don't... Yeah. It's going to be really similar to what I'm already wearing. Still, that's nice. But yeah, not so much in this truck bed, but in newer zones, there can... Oh, the bear is on the road. All right, good to know. Hi, bear. How's it going? I was like, why in the actual hell is the door not opening? I was crouched too low. All right, so we hit him. That was really scary. We almost just got mauled by a bear. That was so close. Why did I do that? Okay. Here's the thing. If we got out now and shot at him, we'd hit him. Yeah. All right. Now he's just wounded. Let's just let him run around for a bit. Unhappy bear is unhappy. He's probably going to bleed out. Let's just play it safe, because I think he's running back by. Yep, there he goes. I feel kind of bad, I'm not going to lie. Whenever the bear starts making those noises, it's like, oh, I did that. I'm sorry, Mr. Bear. You were presenting something of a menace, however, and needed to be dealt with. Ooh, a scrawled message. I know you can't help but try and go. Just be safe. Love you. Memento hint. Ooh, by a climb. Which climb, though? Alright, so the bear will probably die somewhere down there. Is it worth skinning the bear? That's the next question. It might be. We have what we need to bring a bear hide back with us right now. But I think you need 2 bear skins for the bedroll. I might be mistaken there. I'll check it once I'm not dying of hypothermia. Well, hypothermia risk. That was the most hilariously stupid thing I have done in the long dark in a long time. And it wasn't so much because it was a stupid thing to do. I just wasn't as safe as I thought I was. Yeah, that bear is definitely going to bleed out. Sorry for making everyone clench up. I know we're still recovering. Heart rate's stabilizing. All right. We're going to double check the bed of this truck. All right. I've already been in here, of course. Bear is still bleeding out. Terrifying. Okay, heart rate's back up. Well, they can't really do anything when they're running like that, when they're bleeding out, so I'm not too concerned about it. Let's go ahead and head down the road. The bear's basically just going to run along its patrol route, pretty much. And frankly, it's probably dead by now. It wasn't going to last much longer. So this could be really interesting, depending on whether the cache is here. We're going to check for it, for sure. Oh, you're back. Okay. Good lord. Jump scared me. You are taking a while to bleed out. Search this trunk. Alright, I need to get inside. Thankfully the cave is not far now. I think I'm going to go for the bear hide. It's too convenient of a kill not to. We had the rifle, we were ready to do it. I'll have to get it curing as soon as possible, so that it doesn't slow us down too much. But it's not going to take as long to cure as a moose hide would, I don't think. You can tell that life has just been nuts for the past months, because a lot of my latent knowledge of this game, having not played it as much off of YouTube, is like dormant. And there's a lot of like question marks where I don't want to assume that the first answer my brain comes up with is correct, even when it is. And then there's some stuff I just genuinely don't remember. Makes it more interesting though. For me anyway. Maybe for you too. Person to person, perhaps. Okay, can't run at the moment. Hypothermia risk is getting quite high. This is actually... It's not going to be cutting it super close, but it's uncomfortable. I'll say that. It's definitely uncomfortable. What would be even more uncomfortable is if there was an animal at the end of this particular walk that didn't used to be here, but now that everything's different, that would just be rude. Okay, here's the cave. Gosh, it's so far. Ah, there is an animal. It's a bunny. Really? I can't go through that? That's mean. Okay. It's 2 bunnies. It's 3 bunnies. Hi, bunnies. How's it going? I'm not going to shoot at you, don't worry. I don't need to. I don't need to, bunnies. It's fine. I mean, there is an argument to be made for rabbit skin gloves. But right now, there's an argument to be made for getting the heck inside this cave. Period. And that's what we're going to do. Okay, we have arrived. Enter. Lost a lot of health.
Getting too heavy to carry.
To the cold there. All right, hypothermia risk nice and high. Let's go ahead and get the lantern out. Maybe it's this cave that's going to be longer. Maybe that's the one that I was thinking.
I could eat anything right now.
Or maybe I'm just thinking of a different cave. Also possible. I am going to ignore the coal, as much as it's weird to ignore coal. Pork and beans, firewood. Because I just don't need it. I have some waiting at Grandmother's for me. Sorry, this is weird. Hang on. I just feel like... You ever, like, walk past a spot like that and just feel like you blatantly skip something? I think it's because every time I see this guy, I think I'm going to find the specialty lantern. The Spelunker's lantern. And I don't. And then I'm sad. Every time. Hypothermia risk decreasing, thankfully. Absolutely love the icy blue hue that you can see in some of this cave. All right, I think this is a dead end here. This with some extra coal. Perfect. Yeah, this is definitely the cave that I was thinking of. Specifically because of this spot. It was just a different cave in Milton. We're going to go ahead and put that away. I want to try and use as little lamp oil as I possibly can. All right, now we're going to come out in a spot that's really close to where we were, but we're not actually going to go all the way back to Grandmother's this way because we need to get that bear hide. The only reason I'm coming out here is I want to check for the cache, because frankly, since I first found it,
I'm not going to be able to carry this load for much longer.
It's been here every other time that I've come out here. So I'm wondering if it will be there again, or if this will be, it'll finally be the time that the cache does not spawn. Alright, so there's a prop deer, which is nice. Hypothermia risk is back down to about 50%. Let me take out the rifle just in case. It would be incredibly mean for there to be a predator up here, but you know, you just want to be sure. And there's the cache. Now, we've already been in one cache so far this series, and it was abandoned. So, in my statistical mind, that increases the odds that this one will not be abandoned. It doesn't actually change the chances for this hatch, but the fact that we've already run into one, what's the likelihood of getting 2 abandoned caches in a row? Let's find out. Damn it. Pretty good, apparently. Okay. It's like similar to tomato soup likelihood. Apparently. Specifically food poisoning from tomato soup. Okay. Yeah, here's this thing. So we have this
Walk with this
gap in the wall. We observed something like this at the other abandoned cache. So, yeah, there's really nothing here. Nothing at all. Aside from that one grate that I can open as a container. That's hilarious.
I need to find food.
Oh, you're fine. Just going to clean this place up a bit. Nice. And now, of course, a couple of things. We can chow down on those ketchup chips. I'm going to go ahead and consume these pork and beans. Because we're not going to have much more time to do that. Tempted to eat those sardines, but I'll hold off. We'll save those for a rainy day. We're going to eat the cattails, drink the water. This is going to be tricky, because we're going to have a lot to lug back. But let's go ahead and sleep for... Oh, wait, hello. Oh, it's just a mattress. Oh, wait, no. I hadn't left editing mode. My bad. Okay, so let's sleep for... a little more than 3 hours. We're going to go find that bear. The most important thing is that we'll be warm again when we wake up. And it sounds like the weather is still decent, which is surprising if I'm being completely honest.
This pack is getting too heavy to carry.
Yeah, if we hadn't killed that deer... You know, actually, food-wise, you know what I could do? So if we hadn't killed that bear, we could just go down this way, but we're gonna go for that. What I will do, though, is use the hacksaw to get this meat. Because this way, at least, we can chow down on some freshly cooked deer meat in the cave that we're about to enter. I'm not going to worry about the hide or the guts. And we'll be in a little bit better shape to deal with the bear. Because we will have to find it, which hopefully won't be too hard. Does seem like the weather is about to turn, which is not the best news in the world. Because I have to cook this meat and it's going to take time. So maybe by the time I'm done cooking, we might have a storm on our hands. Don't love that. But we're going to push nevertheless.
I'm not going to be able to carry this load for much longer.
Okay, we're going to try right here. Wood match. Cattail head. Just use a stick. And I do have some accelerant, so we'll go ahead and do that. Alright, let's just put that down. Not going to worry about using containers. Got some animal fat as well. Past time. Pretty decent number of calories in just that one. Now we could put a potato down here if I wanted to cook a potato. So we can do that. May as well, honestly, because I've got so much that is actually cookable. I haven't done a cooking fire in a bit. Well, we have, but not for the purpose of cooking. So I guess that would in fact mean we have not done a cooking fire in a while. So, there's that taken care of. Now we'll put the other potato down. Potato. Water-wise, we are getting to the end of what we're currently carrying, but remember, we have plenty more waiting for us at Grey Mother, so what I would rather do is just keep what I've currently got. Alright, let's eat this potato, which will probably fill us up. It did. Okay. Now we're going to take a torch, and we're going to keep moving. Let's go find a bear. We'll try and locate him before the end of the episode. Do still have a little bit of reading to do as well, on top of the reading I've already done. Isn't it funny how when you're playing in a cramped space like this and you're like in a cave, sometimes just naturally your body will make movements that mimic what the character's doing? Like, I just ducked my head a little bit and was like peering through the opening, like that was somehow helping. It doesn't. At all. It doesn't change. I don't have a 3D monitor. It doesn't change what you can see. It doesn't change the angle of my head. I don't have Tobii eye tracking so that I can move my head in frickin' the long dark the same way that I can in Flight Simulator 2020 and 2024. Oh, hey. Oh, wow. Did I walk right by you the first time? I think I did. I think I did. I think I walked right by that wolf. But yeah, does nothing. Still do that kind of automatically. Oh. 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 Hi. Okie dokie.
I can barely walk with this much gear.
That's... You know what? Hold on. I can't ask for a better cliffhanger than that. The game just gave me one. We're just gonna stop right there. And in the next episode, I'm gonna go back out there, try and find the bear, and then definitely try and get the heck out of Dodge. I will also take a quick look at the map and try and figure out the mechanics here, because this is literally, if you missed this, if you're newer to the channel, or if you forgot when I mentioned this in Season 8, this is my first encounter with the cougar ever. I have waited, so don't know what I'm doing. This will be fun. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe to follow along. For early episodes, channel emotes, and member badges, look for the join button. New episodes will be arriving at 1 p.m. US Eastern Time every other day, and comments are always welcome. So leave your thoughts below, and I'll see you next time.